Johnny Depp, Hollywood royalty, walking down the aisle of a luxury jet. Passengers are whispering, phones are secretly recording, and flight attendants are starstruck. But then something happens that no one saw coming. The head flight attendant marches up to Depp's first-class seat and says the words that will haunt this airline forever. "Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to move to coach." Wait, what? You're probably thinking what everyone else was thinking. This has to be a joke, right? Johnny Depp, the man who's made Disney billions as Captain Jack Sparrow, getting demoted to economy class like some random troublemaker. But here's where it gets absolutely insane. The reason they gave. His appearance was inappropriate for first-class passengers. Let me paint you the picture. Depp was wearing his signature style, dark jeans, a vintage band t-shirt, some jewelry, and yeah, his hair was a bit toss, but inappropriate. This is the same look that's made him one of the most recognizable faces on the planet. The flight attendant, let's call her Karen, because, well, you'll see why, was apparently having the worst power trip of her life. She claimed that first-class passengers had complained about sitting near someone who looked unprofessional. Now, here's what Karen didn't know. The other passengers, they weren't complaining. They were excited. People were trying to work up the courage to ask for selfies. Kids were nudging their parents saying, "Mom, is that really Captain Jack Sparrow?" But Karen was determined to flex her authority. Depp, being the absolute gentleman he is, just smiled that enigmatic smile and said, "No problem at all." He gathered his things and walked to the back of the plane like it was no big deal. But here's where the story takes a turn that will blow your mind. As Depp made his way to coach, something magical started happening. The passengers back there couldn't believe their luck. A little girl with cancer, who was traveling to a specialist in New York with her family, nearly fainted when Johnny Depp sat down right next to her. Her name was Emma, and she was 8 years old. She'd been battling leukemia for 2 years, and her parents had spent their life savings on this experimental treatment. They were flying coach because, honestly, they'd sold everything they could to afford this last hope. Emma was wearing a Pirates of the Caribbean t-shirt. When Depp noticed, he leaned over and whispered in his perfect Jack Sparrow voice, "Well, well, well, what have we here? A fellow pirate." Emma's eyes went wide. Her parents started crying, not from sadness, but from pure joy at seeing their daughter light up for the first time in months. For the next 4 hours, Johnny Depp became Emma's personal entertainer. He told her stories about filming pirates, taught her pirate slang, and even gave her his actual ring, one of his signature silver pieces that he'd worn in multiple movies. But that's not even the best part. When they landed, Emma's mom whispered to Depp about their situation, how they'd spent everything on this treatment, how they were staying at a tiny motel near the hospital, how scared they were. Depp quietly took down their information and told them he'd see what he could do. 3 days later, Emma's family received a call that changed their lives forever. An anonymous donor had not only paid for Emma's entire treatment, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, but had also set up a trust fund for her future education and arranged for the family to stay in a luxury hotel suite for the duration of her treatment. The donor, Johnny Depp. But he wasn't done. Remember Karen, our power-tripping flight attendant? Well, her little stunt was about to cost her airline more money than anyone could have imagined. See, unbeknownst to Karen, there were passengers on that flight filming everything. The video of Johnny Depp being forced to move to coach went viral within hours. We're talking 50 million views in the first day. But the video that really broke the internet. Emma's mom had filmed Depp's entire interaction with her daughter. 4 hours of pure kindness, gentleness, and magic. When she posted it with the caption, "This man gave my dying daughter 4 hours of happiness, and then saved our lives," the internet lost its collective mind. The airline's stock price plummeted overnight. Their social media was flooded with millions of angry comments. #boycott airline started trending worldwide. Celebrities began sharing their own stories of flying with the airline and canceling their partnerships. But here's the kicker. The airline had just signed a massive $500 million deal with a major entertainment company for in-flight entertainment content. Guess what happened to that deal when the entertainment company saw how the airline treated one of Hollywood's biggest stars? Cancel. The airline CEO was forced to issue a public apology, not just to Depp, but to every passenger who witnessed their staff's discrimination. Karen, she was fired within 48 hours, and good luck getting another job in customer service after becoming the face of corporate arrogance. But the story gets even better. 6 months later, Emma was declared cancer-free. Her first request, to meet Johnny Depp again, and thank him properly. Depp flew her entire family to Disney World, where he was filming a new Pirates movie. He arranged for Emma to have a small cameo in the film, just a quick shot of her waving from a pirate ship, but it made her the happiest kid in the world. During the visit, Emma asked Depp why he helped them. His answer, "Pirates help pirates, love, and you're the bravest pirate I've ever met." The airline tried to win back public favor by offering Depp free flights for life, and a massive publicity stunt. His response, delivered through his publicist, was simply, I'll fly with airlines that judge people by their character, not their appearance. But here's the part that will give you chills. 2 years later, Emma, now completely healthy and thriving, started a foundation called Pirates for Good, helping other families dealing with childhood cancer. And guess who was her first major donor and board member? The man who turned a moment of discrimination into a lifetime of giving back. That flight attendant thought she was putting someone inappropriate in their place. Instead, she witnessed one of the most beautiful displays of human kindness ever captured on camera. The airline lost $500 million, and their reputation. Karen lost her job and became an internet meme for all the wrong reasons. But Emma gained a guardian angel, a full life ahead of her, and a story that proves sometimes the most magical things happen when ordinary people try to dim extraordinary ones. Johnny Depp didn't just handle that situation with grace. He turned it into a masterclass on how real class has nothing to do with where you sit on a plane and everything to do with how you treat people when nobody's watching. Except someone was watching. And the whole world got to see what happens when kindness meets cruelty. Kindness always wins. The next time you see someone being judged for how they look instead of who they are, remember Emma's story. Remember that the person you're judging might just be the one who changes everything. And remember that sometimes, getting kicked out of first class leads to something infinitely more valuable than a luxury seat. It leads to becoming someone's hero.